I'm Linda Aitcheson. I work in the Supported Programmes Department as a lecturer, and I work with all students who have additional support needs. And this year I'm doing In-Folio with a group of students on the Expressive Arts course.
Hi, I'm Colleen Hurren. I'm the Learning and Teaching Technologist here at Cumbernauld College. My background is actually teaching, and I like to think of myself as a kind of bridge between the lecturers and the technology. So anything, hardware, software, anything, I'll help them to use it with the students.
We started this last session as a trial, again with the Expressive Arts course, although this year it's a different group of students. And this year we are working with the students, and what we're asking them to do is to use it as, I suppose, a log or a record for recording the work they do in all of their classes, and that's to consolidate and underpin everything that they're doing. And so far they're having fun.
We both attended the Tech This training, was it December 2011?
Yes.
It was from that we decided to give In-Folio a go, because we already have Mahara ePortfolio in the college for mainstream classes, and I thought, oh, this could be good if we have a kind of accessible ePortfolio that can be used with the students that are the teachers. Team teaching really is the way that we did it. So both of us in the class together, because with a reasonable number of students you need at least a couple of people to go around and help them, just to get logged on for a start, and then to show them all the features. So,
get the students.
And that was to start with, at least, and then Linda's able to take them on. From there.
Keep them going. Well, they like it. One of the students used it last year, so he's quite familiar with it and used it quite a lot last year. The rest of the students like it. They thought it was quite a bit like, I suppose, a bit like last year. Some of the students described it as a wee bit like Facebook, but they liked the colours, and they liked the fact that it's quite interactive and you can listen back to what you've typed in. So if you type in whatever information into your tabs, some of the students this year in particular really love the fact that you can listen back and you can hear what you've typed. So we've not done a formal feedback session yet with the students, which we will do. I like to wait and do that kind of maybe January or February time. But so far they like it. We had a couple of wee glitches at the beginning, technical glitches, but once we got over that, and we got it up and running, then it was fine. As long as the students feel that they're in control and that they're managing it and it's not taking too long, then it's so far so good.
Yeah, I can see it works on different levels for different students, because some of them have such good IT skills that they can just romp through it, and then you see them going out to Facebook to find their photographs and bringing them back in and including them. And for some students, even the kind of logging in process can be a challenge, and you need a lot of repetition to get them used to the various features, but they still learn a lot from it. So I think it has the capacity to support students with a wide range of abilities.
For me, I really am using it to kind of really underpin and consolidate the learning across the whole course. The course that we're using it with the Expressive Arts, it's a very dovetailed course, so everything that the students do in every class supports an end of year production. So, and all of the units really work towards that end of year production. So the class that I'm doing, the In-Folio, is tutorial support, and that class really does talk about guidance and other things like that. But I use that class to talk about the course and how are things going, and to talk about all the other courses and all the other subjects and how are we getting on and are there any issues, and to talk about how the subjects relate and link into each other. So I'm really pleased with In-Folio, because it's a really good way of getting the students to think about, in a fun way, what they're doing in each class and how to link that in together without having to do an awful lot of hard work.
It's relative simplicity compared with Mahara. I think it is suited to the students that we're using it with. And I just like the way it's constructed, because I think if I was creating an ePortfolio for use across the whole college, I'd start with In-Folio and work out from there, because you know, I just like the way it's put together. Well, there already is personalisation, you know, and as a sort of kind of trivial level, we can make more glamorous looking templates, but without losing the accessibility of it. That could be one thing. And to sort of expand on the sort of block, page block idea, tabs. It could be good if they have an even more simplified version of ePortfolio, so that maybe just 2 of those levels for beginners, because especially this year you've had some students that struggle with 3 levels.
I think for students who are less IT literate or who are just less confident and would maybe do struggle with the navigation between the pages, the tabs and the blocks. And also, I only do this once a week. Therefore, the students only do this once a week. So, it can take a wee while to get back into the habit of oh right, that's right, I remember that from last week, and I've forgotten how to do that. So, I think for students who are less IT confident and literate, it would be really useful to have a more simplified page or system.
Yeah, a few things we could do to make it easier for ourselves. I'm thinking towards the future, and if we have it on our own server, then we could have it with single sign-on, so that once students are on to the college's IT system, then they just have to press a button, get right into In-Folio without putting in a second layer of passwords, and that would make such a big difference.
Because the log-on password to get onto the college log-on system is different from the In-Folio password, which is fine for many students, but for some students that can be tricky, and they can forget that they've got 2 different passwords. So it's just, again, it's about a support issue and supporting the students to remember all that.
And we've learned a great deal from using it, and it's provoked a lot of thought for us in terms of things like safeguarding students and thinking about how we use video with students, because with In-Folio we're able to upload very small pieces of video, but obviously the best way to handle video was to have it hosted somewhere else and embed it. So then we think about how we use YouTube or Vimeo and how we use that safely with the students. So we're getting there.
Yes. We are.
Give it a go.
Yeah, don't be frightened.
And the students will teach you, some of them at least, will be there to help you out, I'm sure, if you get stuck. And you can almost guarantee they'll enjoy it.
Yeah, they will, because it's instantly attractive to students just because of the way it looks. And, just give it, I think it's a good thing to get students to play about with it for a wee while before you maybe make too many formal decisions about what you're going to do with it, because it can change. And what I've found, and I'm sure Colleen would be the same, you find strengths and weaknesses with the student group and with yourself and with the technology, so that can maybe sometimes change how you do things. So it's a good thing to
and don't
mess about with it first.
Mess about with it, and don't underestimate the small things, because we found just simple features like the translating what we've typed to speech that's built in. Some students are just blown away by small things like that. They really enjoy it. And remember to tell your IT folk what you're doing so that they can support you too, because there can be little glitches, like we've had the room Linda uses, we've had Internet Explorer 8 on some of the machines, and it doesn't like that at all. So we got Google Chrome installed, and now it's all plain sailing. It's not a problem at all.